Now we're going to take a look at two men making their pro debuts, but one of them's a world champion. Of course, he's not a world champion in boxing. It's a kickboxing champion, Mike Winkeljohn, the ISKA super middleweight champion, who you see there, taking on Ray Ruiz. But first, let's look at some footage from the weigh-in.
Mike
Winkeljohn, 173. 173. Don't forget your physical and your licensing. Make sure you get your boxing app and whoever's working your corner. Oh, Danny is, isn't he? Okay. Good sign. Ray Ruiz. How's it going, Ray? How you doing? Ready to go? About what is your weight, Ray? Approximately.
We get Charles 239.
Okay, Ray Ruiz, 178 even. 178.
Good. That's what I heard.
Boxing Hour, we're talking to the ISKA super middleweight champion of the world, Mike Winkeljohn. Thanks, Mike, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, now you're looking to get a spot on this boxing card. How's your kickboxing career been going so far?
It's been going pretty good. I've been able to get any fights since I won the world title. They're few and far in between. It's a matter of money. You know, the most fights are in Europe, and so they have to pay to get you over there and stuff. So it's kind of tough.
Okay, now when you won the world title against Bill Murray here in Albuquerque, was a pretty grueling fight. How did you come out of that fight physically?
Really good. My neck was a little sore. I got thrown on my head quite a few times, but it was a good fight. I enjoyed it.
Okay, now, do you know who some of the top contenders in your division are right now?
I sure do.
And who would you say are the biggest threat to your title?
Probably a guy named Ernesto Us out of Holland.
Okay.
He's a tough, heavy hitter, big leg kicker. Kicks legs really hard.
Right. Okay, now you're looking to get a spot in boxing. Just your hands?
Just my hands.
You wouldn't be tempted to throw a kick in there if you're in trouble?
Yeah, I guess if I was getting beat up real bad. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's going to be tough, but yeah, I think it'd be great, just my hands. And it's just something to keep you active. Like I said, I got to stay active, and I think it would help my kickboxing career if I can get used to my hands. It's different range, a lot of different things involved. You get hit in the head more, not in the body as much. There's different things to watch and look for. There's some slipping motions that you can't use in kickboxing, but you can use in boxing. You can't slip to the side because you get kicked, but you can slip to the side in boxing, and the guy will be over there. It's not a big deal.
Okay, now have you been getting some boxing sparring?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Okay, do you
I
do
got
that?
50 rounds of boxing sparring before this.
Is that part of your routine for kickboxing too?
Usually just the kickboxing all together, but every once in a while I get a guy that just boxes that I go ahead and just box with. Because it helps, you know, it's your reactions, work your hands.
Okay, well, we wish you luck. Hope we can get you on the card. I would love to see you. It'd be great.
Oh, good. I think you enjoyed it if you had a chance to see me just box.
Okay, and anything you want to say to the boxing and kickboxing fans of Albuquerque?
No, just that a lot of boxing fans out there think kickboxers can't box, and put me on the card, and I'll show you that we're not so bad.
Okay, folks, that's Mighty Mike Winkeljohn, the world champion. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Dan.
Two men making their pro debuts here at Tingley Coliseum. Climbing into the ring now, you're looking at Ray Ruiz out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He too has some experience kickboxing, and he'll be taking on the ISKA super middleweight world kickboxing champion. That's Mike Winkeljohn out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ray Ruiz in the blue trunks making his pro debut as a boxer, just like his opponent, Mike Winkeljohn. And we've got a good crowd here, well over 5,000 people here at Tingley Coliseum. Of course, they're here to see Danny Kid Dynamite Romero Jr. make his return to the ring after that stunning upset loss at the hands of Willie Salazar, and of course the eye injury that caused that loss. And so the fans are hungry to see Kid Dynamite back in action. But right now we're looking at the undercard, Ray Ruiz taking on Mike Winkeljohn, a couple of pro debuting light heavyweights. And right now the crowd is awaiting the arrival of Mike Winkeljohn. Winkeljohn is very popular in the Albuquerque area. A lot of people have been anxious to see him try his skills in the boxing ring. Of course, taking the world championship, professional world title in kickboxing, tremendous martial arts master. But now we're going to see what he can do as a boxer. And right now, here he comes. Anticipation building a little bit here as Mike Winkeljohn approaches the ring. It's been a long time coming that Winkeljohn has been expected to be on one of these boxing shows, and he finally gets to make his debut as a boxer. Entering the ring now, Mike Winkeljohn, being handled by Danny Romero Sr. So I think everything's about ready to go here. We got both men in the ring, and let's go up to the ring announcer, Mike Adams, for the call.
For tonight's second battle of the evening, it'll be 4 rounds, light heavyweight. This bout against Central out of New Mexico athletic division. Standing 8 count in effect, 3 knockdown rules, 10-point system, and the fighter can only be saved in the last round. This particular fight, judges at ringside will be Mr. James Bagshaw, Mr. Lorenzo Saiz, and Mr. Walt Brown. Your timekeepers will be Terry McDowell and Tina Nunez, and your referee in charge of this bout, Mr. Al. They said Lorenzo. Introducing the participants first. In the red corner.
Lorenzo Saiz, not Walter Saiz.
Wearing the blue trunks
They
with the
said
white
Walter.
trim.
I don't know who said that.
He hails from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mr. Jesus.
I'll tell you when I see him.
Stingray.
Al Martinez, the referee.
It's gotta be.
Al Martinez. Huh? The referee is Al Martinez.
Ruiz. In the blue corner. He's wearing the green trunks. He's making his professional debut tonight. The former world kickboxing champion, Mr. Mike Winkeljohn. 4 rounds, light heavyweight.
Mike Winkeljohn and Ray Ruiz now just about ready to get underway. This should be pretty good. Both men making their pro debut, and they want to impress this big crowd here. Both men are from New Mexico, although this is a southern New Mexico versus northern central New Mexico matchup here. Ray Ruiz coming up from Las Cruces, and of course Mike Winkeljohn from right here in Albuquerque. Referee Al Martinez holds the two apart as the bell. We're just ready for the bell here. Dan Cisneros at ringside, and you're watching the 8-count boxing hour here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. And there's the bell for round 1. We're underway now. This bout scheduled for 4. Mike Winkeljohn in the green trunks. His opponent, Ray Ruiz, in the blue trunks with the white stripe down the side and the white waistband. Winkeljohn won his kickboxing title at super middleweight 168. Right here he's fighting at the light heavyweight division, going up over 170. Winkeljohn is said to have good power in both hands.
Go to your left. Go to your left. Straight. There you go. Go left.
The action coming to you from Tingley Coliseum. I don't know much about Ray Ruiz. I know that he's a kickboxer, and he was pretty successful there, and he's been looking to doing some boxing. Of course, Mike Winkeljohn, you may have seen him win that ISKA super middleweight kickboxing title right here on the 8-count boxing hour. We brought that fight to you. And there's a good left hand from Winkeljohn now as he puts a little bit of pressure on Ruiz, and Ruiz holds on. Winkeljohn said to be a pretty fast starter. He's a good action fighter, very sturdy. There's a good left hand now, but it just grazes Ruiz, not connecting solid. And Ray Ruiz right now is a kind of a backup mode. He doesn't seem to be very aggressive. Winkeljohn's the one putting on the pressure here, making the fight. And oh, a big left hand from Winkeljohn. And Ray Ruiz goes straight down onto his back. He's really hurt. I don't know if he's going to make it up. Having a hard time getting up now. Al Martinez is counting over him, and that's it. The fight is over. It's a knockout. Ray Ruiz did not beat the count that time. Mike Winkeljohn with a big left right on the chin, and Ruiz goes down and stays down.
We'll have a super long intermission, I can tell
So
you
professional
right now,
boxing
to kill time.
looks favorably upon Mike Winkeljohn here as he steps into the world of pro boxing and moves his record now to 1 win and no losses with a knockout. There you see his handlers, the Danny Romero camp, and there's a replay now as you see that left hand come in again. I'd like to get a look at that again if we could. And Ray Ruiz stretched out on his back there. I believe it was a left. Now let's take a look at that again on the replay. Okay, Ruiz just kind of throws that jab out there. He's backing up. Winkeljohn comes in. Yeah, well, a left-right combination, and Winkeljohn puts Ruiz down for the count. So our first two fights here on the 8-count boxing hour ending in first-round knockouts. And there you see Al Martinez counting, and that's it. The fight's over. So Mike Winkeljohn making a bang here in his pro debut. Comes out and scores a first-round knockout. A good start for Mike Winkeljohn. Well, hopefully we'll see more of him here on the local shows and maybe get him some worldwide action. There you see Ray Ruiz with his legs straight up in the air as he fell on his back. Winkeljohn mercilessly puts him down with a good combination. And so Mike Winkeljohn gets the job done here. Winkeljohn brought a big contingent of people. I guess a lot of his kickboxing students. He does teach the martial arts at a studio here in Albuquerque. And of course he's very popular with the kickboxing crowd, and he brought a good crowd of people to back him up here, and they were very pleased with his performance tonight. Mike Winkeljohn, very impressive. A good way to start off his pro boxing career. And let's hear the call from Mike Adams.
Hey, what are you doing? How's that brother of yours? 136 of round number 1. Winner by knockout, Mike Winkeljohn.
Carlos, 136.
Again, Danny Romero would like to thank each and every one of the sponsors.
So Mike Winkeljohn scores a first-round knockout in his pro debut. More boxing action coming up on the 8-count boxing hour. Stay tuned.